Hi everybody, it's me again. It's middle of summer in southern Oklahoma, and I'm going stir crazy. Some of my friends have asked me to make a list of the things that I take with me in my pack. So, being bored out of my mind and it's too hot to go out, it's about 97 degrees out, I decided to make myself a little video and show you what I carry in my pack. I'm not a big gear guy, but some of the fun of backpacking for me is playing with the gear and finding out what works and what doesn't. So I've got my old pack out here, and we're going to go through it and I'll show you what I use. I'm not an expert, I just do it for fun, but I have a blast doing it. So here we go. All right, I've taken everything out of my pack here, with the exception of the sleeping pad. As you can tell, it's just a foam pad that you can buy at Walmart or Academy. They're fairly inexpensive, and I've found it almost a necessity to have this with me. If you're going to sit down while you're hiking, sit on a rock or something, this makes a nice pad to sit on. If you're going to lay down and take a nap or just rest, you can roll this out, lay down on it. I keep it strapped to the outside of my pack so that I don't have to do any unpacking to get to it if I need it. It's handy. As you can tell, it's a little worse for wear, but I've gone through 2 of these so far, and this one was given to me. If you remember, a guy named Mike that came down right before we went into the Comanche Wilderness area, he had one of these in his truck and he gave it to me, and I've still got it. I'm still using it, so thanks Mike if you're watching. The other items, I keep just a cheap Timex watch, digital watch, on one strap, and here is a thermometer, and on the back side is a compass. I don't know how accurate the compass is, but the thermometer is pretty close. And what I've found is when I get up in the morning, I'm curious about how cold it is, and it's kind of nice to have a little thermometer right there where I can see it and use it. So the rest of it is here on the ottoman in front of you. Everything that goes in my pack is here. I'll start with the sleeping bag. I'm not real happy with this one. I've gone through 3 of them so far. I don't know if any of you know, but I'm about 6'2" and well over 250 pounds. And they either don't fit me lengthwise or I can't zip them up around my shoulders. So it's kind of frustrating for a bigger guy to find a sleeping bag that works, and I still haven't done that. So I'll probably have to go to the sporting goods store and feel like an idiot while I lay one out on the floor and get in it and try to zip it up. So I've been trying to avoid that, but it's come to the point where it's just unavoidable. I want to find one that will pack up quite a bit smaller and still fit me. I hike in southern Oklahoma, and it stays fairly warm, so I don't think I'm going to need anything quite this large. When it is really warm and I'm not using my sleeping bag, I'll use it as a blanket or more of a mattress over my pad, and I will use a sleeping bag liner. Works kind of like a sheet. Doesn't provide any kind of warmth or anything. It's just mostly a comfort item that I keep, and it's lightweight, packs in its own bag. I think they sell them at Academy, and they're fairly inexpensive. Now, so far, my favorite piece of equipment is my hammock. You've heard me talk about it a couple of times, and as I said before, I went through a couple of tents. I'm always sleeping on a stub or a rock, always pitched uphill or downhill. They either leak or the poles break during setup or when I'm climbing in, and I just got frustrated. And so for the last probably 40 miles that I've hiked, I've been doing it out of a hammock, and I can tell you, very happy with the hammock. I just can't say enough about hammock camping. This one has a bug net. I think that's important, particularly because I generally hike in the spring or fall. Bugs are out, and the bug net has really been a comfort item. Over the top of that hammock, I put a tarp. Now, this is just a cheap tarp that I bought off of Amazon. It's nylon ripstop and lightweight, packs up in a small bag. If you noticed in my last video, I was using a Walmart blue tarp, and that worked fairly well. But next time I go out, I'm going to have a little bit lighter weight tarp to go with me. The dark green bag here, and the bags all come as a from Amazon or Walmart. Some of them come in a pack of 3, red and green and black. And then the Timber Creek one came from Academy. So, but I like to have the bags. I like to separate my things out by color. This has my toiletries in it. I pack them up tight, and they go in the front bag pouch on my bag, so they're easily accessible in the event that you need them easily accessible. The red bag is where I keep my first aid items, spare batteries. It's a little bitty bag, but it's got a whole lot of stuff in it. It's got my vitamin I. Some of you know I have a titanium right leg, and sometimes it gets upset with me, so ibuprofen helps a lot. So I've got spare batteries for my spot and for my flashlight, a couple of extra lighters. This is my first aid kit. I've got Band-Aids, Neosporin, moleskin, a small Swiss Army knife. That thing has come in very handy. Has a pair of scissors on it, a knife blade, a little screwdriver, a toothpick, tweezers, and it's tiny, and it works great for cutting your moleskin to size, cutting strings, cutting even rope if you need to. That's probably the only weapon so far that I've needed while I was on the trail, was that little Swiss Army knife. In addition to that, in my pack I have toothbrush, toothpaste, a little bit of soap, some bug repellent. That is my clothesline. Just about every night, especially if it's warm, I find the need to hang my gear, let it dry out a little bit, either from creek water or sweat. And I probably use that every night of my trip. This is something that was given to me when I retired by one of the folks that knew I was going to start hiking. And this is a pair of nylon knee-high socks. If you have trouble with blisters, try this. They're cheap, they're packable. Put those underneath your wool socks or your hiking socks, and see if it doesn't help with blisters if you have a problem with those. Works great. That's it for my little red bag. A blue bag. This contains all of my food, and you can tell that by the little mouse hole in it right there. One night while I was in the shelter, I woke up to the noise, shined my light down, and the mouse had his head inside that hole and was eating a piece of beef stick that was inside my bag. So we weren't friends anymore after that. I upset his meal, ran him off. Those are just some peanut butter crackers. I'll tell you something that really I started craving while I was on the trail. You know, I treat my water and I filter my water, and it takes on kind of a funny taste. So I started getting little flavor packets for my water. Get various flavors. I thought I liked peach mango. After about a week of peach mango, you won't like peach mango anymore. So get a variety. I do like the fruit flavors, but variety is definitely recommended. This is coffee. I pour it into my Ziploc bag. It's just freeze-dried Folgers, and it's a whole lot better. And when I boil my water, as you'll see in a little bit, I've got a cook kit that will let me boil my water both for my meal and my coffee at the same time, and it works great. And it's nice to have a cup of coffee in the morning. For a meal, you've heard me comment before about eating or having my lasagna in the evenings, and I've had really good luck with these freeze-dried meals. My favorite, of course, is the lasagna, but again, I keep a variety of chili mac and different ones here, and makes a nice evening meal. It's quick and it's easy. They even make some breakfast choices that are good. I like those if I have the urge to eat breakfast in the morning. Freeze-dried meals are light, easy to carry, easy to pack, and a little bit of home that comes with you. This is a rain poncho. I can put that on over myself and my pack if I need to or want to. A lot of times in the warmer, on some of my warmer hikes, I didn't care if I got wet or not, so it didn't bother me. And my pack has a rain cover, so I'd cover the pack with the rain cover, and I didn't care if I got wet or not. I would dry out eventually. So, but it's here if I need it. It's very light. I don't know how much it weighs, but not much to it. This is my water purification system. It's called a Katahdin. It is a pump type. I've had friends that brought the squeeze bottle type. I've had one that had a gravity feed. So far, the pump is faster, it's easier. I really like it. I think probably to each his own, but I have filled mine and my fellow hikers' bottles before they could get their squeeze bottles system together and get started on it. So that's really come in handy. The strange part is that the cartridges, the filter cartridges, cost almost as much as the whole pump does. So I haven't changed the filter yet. I probably will on my next hike, but so far, if you follow the directions on keeping it clean, I haven't gotten any bugs yet from it. So, this is my cook system. Keep it in another green bag. You'll probably recognize that. That's my coffee cup. And I started using a jet boil on the last probably 40 miles of my hike. I bought a jet boil. I was using fuel tabs and just a little aluminum pot. It worked fine, except for it would take 15 or 20 minutes to get my water to a boil. And if you remember, when my brother went with me, he brought a jet boil, and he had his water boiling within a couple of minutes, and his food was cooking, and he was drinking his coffee while I was still waiting for my water to get hot. So I switched to the jet boil system, and I've been very happy with it. And this black bag is my clothing. As you know, I'm a YouTuber, and so before I started hiking, I did a lot of video and research on what I should do and the kind of things I should get. And everybody said, you know, don't buy cotton kills. And it probably does in certain climates if you're in the mountains or extremely cold areas. But I'm in southern Oklahoma, and I have difficulty with the synthetics. They start to get offensive pretty quick, and it didn't seem like any amount of washing and cleaning and drying solved that problem. I don't have that trouble if I'm wearing cotton and in warmer weather, so I probably would go with synthetic if I was worried about the weather, but I'm not. So where I hike right now, I don't have those problems. So I've gone back to a cotton t-shirts and lightweight cargo pants, and it's been fairly successful for me, especially in the area of keeping clean and dry. And last but not least, well, I should tell you, I carry a bandana. That is my washcloth, that is my dish rag, that is my wipe my brow rag. I probably wouldn't go on a hike without it. It's become my companion. I had it since day one, and when this one wears out, I'll get another one. They're just very handy, and no need to carry all of those things I described if you've got one thing that'll do it all. So, and of course, if you saw my last hike, I use a spot system to allow my wife to keep track of me, and as I mentioned then, she's a geography teacher, so her students learn about GPS systems in her class, and that was just a little lesson in GPS that they were able to watch and track me as I went, and then watch my video while I was out there, and it made it a little bit fun. So anyway, that's my gear. I don't think I've spent more than, well, I guess the pack is about $75, so I probably don't have more than $200 or $300 in the whole system. I don't believe in spending a whole lot of money if it's not necessary. I may end up having to if I want to get a sleeping bag that fits my needs, but that's probably the only thing right now that has been a disappointment to me. Oh, I did mention in my last one that I had switched to an 80-liter pack. Well, since I have managed to pare down my system over the last probably 94 miles, I'm going back to the 65-liter pack. I think I can fit it all in. It's lighter, it's more comfortable, especially if I get the sleeping bag that I want. I'll be able to reduce the need for a larger pack. So anyway, that's my gear. If you hike, make a video, put it on YouTube, let me know about it. When I'm not hiking in the heat of the summer or the extreme cold of the winter, I like to watch what other people have done and watch their videos and learn from them. So anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time I head out. Thank you. Well, I noticed when I reviewed my video that I had forgotten to mention the guidebook that I keep in the brain of my pack, along with a headlamp and a spare flashlight. All of that, along with my first aid kit, all go into the top portion, or what I refer to as the brain of the pack, for easy access. Oftentimes I'll take my headlamp into the hammock with me at night after it gets dark, and I'll read portions of the guidebook on what to expect on upcoming portions of the trail. So I wanted to take a minute to mention that to you. I always keep a guidebook with me, and headlamp and a spare flashlight. So I also wanted to say that I don't get compensated for any of the brands or locations that I make purchases at. I do that for the sole purpose of letting you know where I get the best deals, and that's just my experience. I don't intend to promote one brand necessarily over the other. It's just my experience. So anyway, hope you have a good time, and maybe I'll see you on the trail. Thanks.